Hey there, and welcome to the Brittany Wheeler Show. Join Brittany as she interviews incredible people whose stories will uplift you and remind you the life you long for is just ahead. Buckle up for an inspirational ride to your best life. Take it away, Britt.
The visionary, the author, the leader, the mom, the friend, the follower of Jesus.
And follower of Jesus always.
Okay, mother, obviously. Yeah. Moms. Anyways, I would love for you to share a little bit about your book and how did we even get here inside of this glass house?
Oh gosh. How did we get here? Because one day I thought, how fun would it be to turn a greenhouse into a glass house where we could podcast from? No, actually, so the way this came about is because I have a friend of mine from church, and we were talking about this idea of being authentic. And he is in the space of influence, right? So we're talking about that. How do you live in that space? And he actually made the comment, we use the phrase around here that we live in a glass house, and we always have to be aware of that. And as soon as he said it, instantly I knew. I was like, oh, that's the title of the book right there. Actually, he's a really great friend, and I'm excited to get him the manuscript. I'm hoping that he's going to do the forward. Anyway, so that's the content. Now, the idea, the glass house. How many times do we, before we even step out the door, have that internal conversation in our own brain where we go, oh, I don't know if I can go into this place because, and we hold ourselves back from things, or we even shift how we show up, how we dress, how we act, how we talk, all of these things because we feel so visible that it's sometimes scary or sometimes not healthy even. And so when we're living in that glass house, the easy answer would be to say, oh no, let's just leave the glass house and not be in it anymore. But as we know in our world, that's not really possible. I mean, we can shut down and not talk to anybody, but that's also not healthy. So what about changing the conversation? Instead of trying to leave the glass house, let's live in it in an authentic and healthy way. Let's be visible to the world, but let's be a force of nature. Let's be who we were truly created to be and not some weird version of ourselves that we've tried to make up.
I love it. The book will come out. It's 10 chapters with not only your own experience, it's having tools and resources and thought-provoking moments that are going to invite the reader to not only engage with their present sense of their own glass house. Well, what does the glass house look like moving forward? Somebody gets that book and they have it in their hand. They come up to you at the grocery store. What do you hope that they are sharing with you as a result of reading your book?
So my hope is that they're sharing a tidbit or a tip or a story that helped them to be okay in their glass house. I don't want to give too much away, but the beginning of the book actually talks about how we can either live in this place authentically or we can live in a cage or a trap. Right? We can get trapped in that space. And so my hope is that they come up and say, man, I'm so excited. I've been applying this piece and it's helped me to feel more free, that I can be authentic and visible and not feel like I have to hide.
Love it. Let's say somebody's listening right now and they are maybe deep down hearing what you're saying, but as they rise up to other surfaces of themselves, they're pushing down that need for the help that potentially you're offering. What would you say to that person to lead them towards your book, to lead them towards really uncovering what is their glass house?
So in the book, we talk about this, how we can get caught up. I call it ego only because there's a certain level of ego that you have to build a business or to be an influencer or to put content out, right? To be able to put your face out or something that you created. So that ego is also the thing that trips us up because we can get so caught up in the ego that then we forget that we do need help. We need to have these conversations. So to that person that's kind of hesitant, first of all, I would say it's a book. Nobody's watching whether or not you read it. So it's okay. It's fine. But then secondly, instead of withdrawing from that, how about entering the conversation? Because with you entering into that conversation, you never know who you're going to inspire to also enter the conversation. So don't hold back from it because it's not just for you. My mom gave me a great phrase when I was younger. She said, never, ever, ever waste a lesson and never forget that you are going through that lesson, not just for you, but for the other person that's going to come after you. So learn your lessons well every single time because somebody else needs it. Somebody else needs to know what it's like and be okay. So learn your lessons well and don't stop from asking for help because all of us need help. I'm a coach, but I need a coach. Actually, I think I have like 12. They rotate. That's a lot. I'm a hard-headed.
This is true. Okay, so what I would love to know is where can people find the book or at least go to? We're setting up for pre-order, right? So we will have the physical copy shortly. Where can people go to get the book, to find more information and really take that step towards understanding their own glass house?
Oh, the perfect. So keep your eyes on starcoaching.com. That is where all the info will be about the book. We're going to be posting about it shortly. If you are interested in pre-order sales, we are only doing that through a private link right now, but you can email us for that private link and go ahead and get your order in. We're going to have a limited number of copies. I think we have about 100 that are available. I'll get my official numbers from marketing, but that's what we're working on right now. So just understanding that we're going to have the info on kstarcoaching.com or on all of our socials as well. You'll be able to find it.
Wonderful. This was great.
Thank you.
Anything
Thank
else?
you for your time.
You're welcome. Anything else on your heart that you want to leave?
Oh, I always have lots on my heart. No, the big thing that we're doing today is don't forget to collaborate. And collaboration requires curiosity. So if you ever find yourself not connecting with other people, then maybe take a step back and find out, am I really being curious in this space? Because if we don't have that curiosity, then we're not really going to connect with people the way we need to.
You guys heard it here from the incredible Keisha Starr, author, owner, co-founder, founder, all the things of just all the things. And thank you for stepping into this glass house and blessing us. And I'm excited to be able to use this and so you can share this with your community of what happened today.
Oh, thank you, Brittany. And y'all, if you have not already, make sure you connect with the incredible, incomparable Brittany Wheeler with the Brittany Wheeler Show. I cannot wait to see all the things that your show is going to do, continuing to tell extraordinary stories with ordinary people.
Thank you. Love you, friend. I love.
So we have switched hosts. If you can't tell, I am Christopher Weedon of the Mentally Shredded Show, and we are back. So we have a new guest. Please introduce yourself, and then we'll ask you the question.
My name is Andrew Besman. I'm 26 years old. I'm an analyst and data scientist. My concentration is in predictive modeling and AI in general.
Okay, nice. I love that. So our question for you is, why is it important to not white knuckle or micromanage your team, resources, or vision, and welcome new talent, influence, and gifts into your sphere of influence? I know that was a lot.
Yeah, that's a big question, but I believe that you always have to be open-minded and always have to welcome new ideas, sometimes criticism, new talent, because in the enclosed environment, sometimes your team might want to agree with your ideas just because they want to appeal to authority, just because you've been reiterating your ideas as a leader, and they don't feel comfortable per se to challenge you. So it's very important to have that kind of environment in the team, that they're comfortable to share their ideas, and they're comfortable to have an open conversation with you and come up to some kind of conclusion.
I love that response. So I have to piggyback off of that real quick. How do you create that environment?
Basically by providing freedom. So you, exactly as you say, you don't try to micromanage all the processes. But you don't have to give like 100% of freedom, of course. That's why it's important to have structure so that people know the range that they're working within, but then they also have a lot of freedom within that range. And they're comfortable making decisions without constant supervision. They don't have to come back and forth in order to confirm that decision.
Yeah. So I hear communication is key. And trust. And so communicating what you want effectively, and then how you build trust is how you respond when people actually speak up, right? That is important.
Because if you invited that person to your team, then I feel like, because some leaders, they think that your team members, they need to earn your trust and have to prove something. But for me, because I'm already inviting that person onto the team, it's already proof of concept. So I already believe in that person. I already have that 100% of my trust. So there's no point to micromanage them at that point.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Thank you for coming on.
You're very welcome.
My name is Matthew Coleman. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Wilmington Media and Marketing. So the Business Journal, Wilma, we put on this event today.
Awesome. And it's a wonderful event. It is. It really is. So if you're not here, you got to come next year. So my question for you is, where and what do you tap into as a person of influence that allows you to model discipline and consistency?
For me, the day starts in the morning. So what I tell folks is the difference between a day where I have gone through and gotten some exercise, I've had a chance to journal, I've done my devotional, is markedly better than the days that I haven't. I can feel a distinct difference between the both of those. And I really, I see a lot of value in taking that time to get my head right, get my body right, and it sets the whole tone for the day.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I'm a morning and evening routine person. I always tell people that by the time you leave your house, that's where you allow chaos in, right? And so
that's great.
You know that you're going to bed every night, most people, right? You got to get sleep, and you know that you are going to hopefully wake up. And so that window of going to bed and waking up, that's your time to have whatever routines you have established. I'm interested in what your routine looks like in the morning and at night.
Sure. So in the evenings, I'm a pretty early to bed kind of guy. But in the mornings, I get up, I like to take the dog for a quick walk around the block, break out the journal, try to get my thoughts down. I'll do a morning prayer journal and try to work in a devotional. And I'm a runner, so 3 or 4 days a week, I'll get out and try to do a couple miles through the neighborhood. And what I found too is just that, the morning time is a chance for me to get everything set before the rest of the family wakes up. So get the coffees ready, get the pets fed, and smooth the runway for everybody else.
I love that. Yes, routine, morning routine, evening routines are very important. Matthew said it himself. Thank you for being here.
Thanks. Thank you so much for having me.
House with Chris at SparkILM.
In the glass house. So, hello. Please introduce yourself.
I am Christina Dees, and I am a TV host at Fox Wilmington.
I love that. Okay. Well, Christina, we have some rapid fire questions for you now. Are you ready?
I think so. I did not get these ahead of time. I just walked in blindly.
Well, you're a pro, so this should be pretty easy.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust Keisha.
So, first question is, when the weight of your influence or leadership becomes heavy, how do you find peace and where do you go for support?
Oh, I love this. So I'm very big into meditation. So the first thing I do is I go and ground myself. So just a quiet space, stillness. And when I'm finished with that, some breath work in there, and then I journal. And then where do I go for support? I do have a great network of friends, including the K-Star Network. Keisha is a great friend. So just depending on what it is, I have a pretty good support system as well.
Yeah, I love that. All things that speak very close and near and dear to my heart. Yeah, I second everything that she just said. So, next question. Why is it important to not white knuckle or micromanage your team, resources, or vision, and welcome new talent, influence, and gifts into your sphere of influence?
All right. I love this because one of my favorite quotes is, you can be good at a lot of things, but you can only be great at one. And so if I spent all my time trying to micromanage my team, I would never go anywhere, right? Because I want to lift other people up and let them be great at what they do. And if you've ever been micromanaged, you know what I'm talking about. It just sucks the energy out of you and it really deflates you until the person doesn't feel good about themselves and doesn't have that confidence. So I try to lift up those around me, instill that confidence and know, like, you got this.
Yes, I love that. You're pouring into each other and you're pouring out of a cup that is overflow. And so when your light is shining, it's much easier to allow other people to let their light shine because you know you're coming from a place of abundance. I love that.
Exactly. And we all have gifts, right? So that's the other thing, is just honoring everyone's gift. And I can usually see that in someone. Like, I want their light to shine just as much as I want my light to shine. And so, yeah, that's what we do. We go around spreading love and lifting everyone else up.
Absolutely. I can see that. And this was our first time meeting.
In a glass house.
It's in the glass house. Thank you so much for being on.
Of course. Nice to meet you.
My name is Kelly Tyson, and I work for Culligan Water.
Love that.
Yep.
Hey, Culligan man.
Yeah, but you can't say "Hey Culligan man" anymore. You have to say "Hey Culligan."
Hey, Culligan.
Yes.
When did they drop that?
You know, they dropped it. It's probably been dropped 10, 15 years now. As you see who's doing the interview, it's not the man.
That's
So,
fair. Wow.
yeah.
That actually dawned on me.
Yeah, we cannot use it anymore in our marketing.
Okay. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Culligan. If you are slow like me, then hey, Culligan, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So, our question for you is, although it can be tempting to make decisions based on the emotions and noise around you, what is a tip to being grounded in your decision making?
So that is a good question. I had to think about it initially because I did say, is this in business or is this at home? And so I explained our office is a very fast-paced office. And so sometimes it is hard to focus. And so a lot of times I do contemplate my decisions and quite often try to wait at least 24 hours before I make any of those. Usually any questions involved are brought home, or then I have time. I can think about them. I can bounce ideas off of other people. So that's basically it. I definitely think 24 hours time is good for that.
I love that. So I have this saying called pause, reflect, choose with awareness. And that is right in that 24-hour window. You
Yep.
have plenty of time to pause.
Yes. I've made some bad decisions on the fly. So as I've aged, I think I've learned to, take a step back and just think about it.
I think we all have. And thank you for being vulnerable and transparent.
Yep. Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Michael Mario with Game Show Champions. Yeah, so we do a bunch of corporate team building. So if you want something fun for your team, your business, or even we've started to branch into families. So think like Double Dare, but without the slime. So we create these crazy off-the-wall games that we take, and it's an hour and a half experience. And at the end, we do classic games like Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune, because that's what everybody's familiar with. But all before that is no holds bar. It's just a wild ride.
Wow, that sounds fun. Well, y'all have to reach out to him. Is there a place people can reach out to you?
Yeah, you can go to gameshowchampions.com.
Awesome. All right, well, back to rapid fire with these questions. So, first question.
Okay, let's go.
Where and what do you tap into as a person of influence that allows you to model discipline and consistency?
That's a great question. I would say for me, something that's always stuck in my mind, I'm in the business of fun, right? So game shows, fun. It can be stressful at times, but I think the one thing that I've always remembered is to stop and sharpen the saw. So before I do anything serious or anything like that, I always have fun. I do something that makes me laugh, and gets me in the mood, because I want to have an open mind, and I just want to be able to go in excited, not drowned by life. And I got to do this. I got to get this done. So for me, I think fun first and then work second, which might not be the right formula, but for me, it helps me stay with who I am and what I believe and what I want to do for other people. At the end of the day, I want people to have extraordinary fun. And the way to do that is by having fun myself.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the example. You're setting an example of that. And I caught something, if the audience didn't. He changed I got to I get to. I heard that. Yes. I don't know if
I don't even think I got that myself. Okay, good. I like that. I get to. Sure, that's fun.
So next question. Why is it important to not white knuckle or micromanage your team, resources, or vision, and welcome new talent, influence, and gifts into your sphere of influence?
Yeah. So, I would say for me is you can't grow and you can't expect people to be like you. That's will never happen. When people have expectations, unfortunately, in the society we live in, where our expectations are always never met. So I think, you can create a mission, you can create, this is our goal. Everybody's going to get to that goal in a different way. So for me, I want to explore whoever's coming to my team. They're going to bring a new set of skills that I might not have. So for me, I want to explore that and see what they're doing. And then our company is going to grow even stronger and better, because people want to care about what they do. And if you keep on telling them what they should care about, it's never going to work. So I want them to, this is what I love. This is what we do. I want them to come see what we do and want to be a part of it, and find who they are and express themselves, because that's how we all grow together, whether it's for your business or personally. I just think people need to get to know one another and feel comfortable. And from there, it sparks growth. And that's how your company is going to grow too, because I know I've had many conversations where people are like, oh, have you thought about this? And I'm like, no, I haven't, because that hasn't entered my mind. And then they spill beautiful gold. And I'm like, I want to try that. How do I do that? So, by putting yourself, not to talk so much, but to putting yourself in a position where you're the one who's always in charge, you're the one that has all the right ideas, is not setting yourself up for success. Like, I live by asking questions that I sometimes I do know the answers to, but I still ask them, because sometimes I get surprised by what people say.
I love that. It's a collaborative approach. I think that model in any company can work if it is done effectively. So thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks for listening.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so my name's Bailey Hilson. I am 21 years old, and I just moved here about a year ago from Des Moines, Iowa. And I really like here. I'm a social media manager.
I love that. Tell me more about that. What is your specific areas that you focus on?
So I'm new to the industry, actually pretty new. I'm a social media manager for a person in Wilmington who is Mayor Pro Tem. And I do his campaign social media, which is a really big responsibility right now.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's get to our question of the day. So, what would you say is important to do daily in order to ensure you are showing up as the best leader / person of influence around you?
So I was talking about this out here, and I was really thinking about my answer, because I don't want it to sound superficial, but it really, I think in the morning, getting yourself together and putting yourself in how you look is going to be super, super important. And when I was first saying that out loud, it sounded very, superficial, very like self-absorbed, like make sure you look good in the morning. But it's when you sit down and you really take care of yourself and you care about how you're presenting yourself and how you show up. And then also just taking that time to yourself and grounding yourself for those
whether it was 15, 20, 30 minutes in the morning, I think really helps you show up for the rest of the day and be the best version of yourself. When you look good, you feel good.
Oh, absolutely. That was my motto back when I played soccer. You wake up, you look good, you feel good, you play good, right? Uh, didn't always play good, but I woke up and I at least felt good and I looked good doing it. So no, I love that. And the routine piece of the morning routine, I'm very, very structured in that. And my evening routine is very structured. So I love that you shared that. And ladies and gentlemen, whoever's listening and watching, she just said she's 21 years old and she understands the importance of routine. That is awesome. I did not understand that at 21.
I think routines are super important. I think more of like people do a lot of goal setting in life. And I think what's really important is creating systems instead of goals. Because I tell this to people all the time, like goals are just for a specific outcome, but systems are how you get to that outcome. And so routines are basically a system that you put in place of how you want to be the best version of yourself. You set these routines in place to basically be your higher self by the end of the day. So instead of, goal setting like, hey, I want to at the end of the week or I want to at the end of the month have a workout plan or something like that. Well, your system is what is that workout plan actually is. So creating systems is, I think, something I talk about pretty heavily, especially in my age group, because we do learn a lot about like setting goals. Like I want to do this or I want to do that, or I want to do that, but we don't really focus on how we're going to get to the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Wow. She's dropping knowledge on us. Systems. I mean, we could talk all day about systems and goal setting. I'm right there with you. I set goals that scare me, right? I don't set them to actually hit them. I set them to put me on a trajectory and in a specific direction, right? If I hit a goal, cool. But I try to set goals that are so out of this world that most people would look at it and be like, that's kind of impossible to hit. And I'm like, good, then I will be way further ahead than I was.
Exactly. And it's like making SMART goals too. I don't remember exactly what the acronym was. SMART or specific, measurable, obtainable, time, and specific. I think something along there. Yeah. I'm like, it's something along there, but like having your SMART goals, and then you need to pair your SMART goals with the processes to get to your SMART goals. Because I know people are like, oh, a goal I want to have is I want to make $1 million. And then now what? What do you want to do to make that $1 million? Or they'll have all these outlandish goals. And then what happens if you don't hit the goals? A lot of people end up feeling sad. They feel discouraged. And then they kind of give up on these goals. And they're just in this rut for the rest of their lives. And it's just a continuous cycle.
Absolutely. Wow. This was fire. I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you for being here.
Right. Hey, my name is Adrian Monte. I am with Daredevil Improv and Daredevil at Work. Daredevil Improv is a comedy arts and education organization here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Should we say where I am? Yeah. Okay, great. And then Daredevil at Work is our corporate improv wing. So we focus on team building, community building, leadership with humor, basically bringing the art of improvisation to the community at large.
Okay. I love that.
That's good. Okay, great.
All right, let's dive into the question.
Thanks.
So, although it can be tempting to make decisions based on the emotions and noise around you, what is a tip to being grounded in your decision making?
This is such a good question for me because I've spent most of my life just following my impulses. Great. So this is one of the things that I've done is spend my life just following my impulses and my emotions and saying yes to things, which is a typical of our improv ideology. But what I found is that you can't really be successful, of course, until you have a solid foundation. And through that foundation, you need solid ground. And your emotions, I mean, that's like the ocean, right? It's wavy. You can't stand on it for long. So I always find having people around you, having a good support system. Thankfully, I met a wonderful woman who has been, my rock next to me. And she's been there, excuse me, I got all emotional. But she's been there to give me all the guidance and to listen to me and hear me out. And so I think that's the thing that we look for to solidify ourselves is that root system. Who's around us that we can talk to, give a question to. They can give us the good advice. The other thing that I found is in improvisation, it's a community thing. We're always thinking about the other person across stage from us is the most important person in the room. And that tends to build up trust. And you have a system around you of people you can trust. And I'm sure it's the same in like any organization. But it's really about being grounded is by getting the feedback from the people around you.
My name is Bill Sapp, and I'm the mayor of the city of Wilmington, North Carolina.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you. So we have some rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
No problem.
All right. So although it can be tempting to make decisions based on the emotions and noise around you, what is a tip to being grounded in your decision making?
Make sure that you're looking at both sides of an issue. Listen to all sides, all opinions, and at the end of the day, always base your opinion on facts. End of story.
Drops the mic. I love that. And the next question. What have you learned from a mentor or role model who has helped you own the unique gifts you have to offer?
Be honest, be straightforward, and make certain people understand where you're coming from, but also let them know that you care about their issues and and the things that they have concerns about. It's extremely important. You just let people know where you stand and be honest and be upfront and own it. Always own it. Don't blame anybody else. But if you have a position of authority, if you have a position where you can help somebody, own it. But also have an idea and have a plan of action, but also make sure that you're also obtaining information from folks to help you make that decision.
Yeah, that comes with listening, taking extreme ownership, and then having a plan of action.
Absolutely, and blame nobody.
I love that.
Quit the game.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Likewise.